Hello everyone, hope you are all doing well. Today I'm going to show you a little setup that you can play against almost anything, really. It starts with d4, say back goes d5, and here we play knight f3. So why do we play knight f3 and not something like, let's just say c4? After c4, your opponent can do a lot of things here. They can take, and then there's a whole thing where you try to grab the pawn and all of that. There's also they can play e5, the Alvin counter gambit. If you're playing a time control with only a few minutes, then it's gonna be hard trying to decide what to do if you're really surprised. So then s3, f6, e3, e6, play bishop 3, g7, castles, castles. And now you might be thinking, well, isn't this the Colley-Zachary system? Well, you might be right, but after MD7, let's just say MD2 and MD7, we're gonna play C4. C4 is a part of the Colley-Zachary system, but we're gonna play it earlier. So let's just say C5, 3, 6, 2, C7, C1, C8. And yeah, this is very similar. Positions are very similar, and this isn't really drawish. I really like this idea of bishop b1. It's sort of an advanced little idea. The point is, after something like 95, you can take with the knight, and you won't get pinned. And black has to deal with that, and it's just an interesting position. Like, no opening is completely winning for anybody. There's no best opening, right? There's just openings, and unless you're playing like I don't know, like the Nimzowitsch, something. But other than that, it would be totally fine. So yeah, you can play this against this. But what if black says c5, and this is the Benoni, the old Benoni, whatever. So black wants us to push and overextend, and just here and they want to play 675, and if you don't really know these positions, you're going to struggle, right? But with our setup, you won't struggle. You're just going to play, you should play 3 here, 6, 3. The move order doesn't really matter. You could play c4 here now, e5, and you're just back to a normal position, right? You could play this against anything. Well, why this though? And why not something like the London system, right? It's literally in the name, it's the system. But I think the London system is not really the most accurate way to play. Especially if our opponent is experienced and they play something like c5 and they target your weakness here on b2, so b3, 3, 3, bishop 5, 3, b6, yeah. The London in no way is bad, but I think this positions your opponent is the one with the control. It's up to them, it seems like. But with our opening, it's never really like that. You know, why it's equal, right? And I don't think it's as dry as the London either, since you're gonna be playing the c4 break anyways. But it's a bit delayed, so there's no surprises. So whatever opponent plays, you know. So if opponent plays e5 and you play this, and this is actually just French defense, right? It's kind of ends up the same way. So if they play against India, right? We can start with f4, but um, thing is, this opening is that it's not the most challenging, right? We'll allow the against Indian player to sort of, get what they want, and it's not really the most challenging way. A challenging way would be, just like playing e4, controlling the center, play bishop e3, queen d2, long castle, play h4, h5. But if you're not experienced in that play, and if it's maybe a shorter time control, then a setup like this is totally fine. So yeah, hope you try this out. Of course, you can experiment on the analysis board. See what ideas you can come up with. And yeah, hope you all have a great day. And yeah, hope you all find a good success rate with this opening.